The Recovery Coach program has been going on here in Marin County for some time. It started with our drug court program and was quite successful. Then when we got involved in AB 109 preparations, we wanted to put a lot of our money in treatment because that's what was lacking for so long for probationers. We partnered with Health and Human Services Drug and Alcohol Division and other providers in the county to determine what were the needs and where were the gaps. And everyone agreed that the recovery coaches were very successful and that this was something that we should look at for our people. So in the initial writing of the grant for AB 109 for the Community Corrections Partnership, we put in to have a recovery coach.
Half of me is able to do so much, and the other half is really busy doing paperwork and stuff. And so a recovery coach is kind of like the other half of me. And so we really kind of form a path together to make sure that people follow through.
One of the key things the recovery coach has to do is relate to the client and to know what services that are out there, so that way each client can be assessed and determine level of services and then provide them that service.
Probation has 2 recovery coaches at our disposal, and they work as a team. James Ricci is the one that is assigned to AB 109 clients.
We take the client from ground zero and take them through whatever services it is that they need. Jim
is just an excellent guy to work with. He has an infectious laugh, a great sense of humor, and he has a no-nonsense side to him.
A lot of clients coming out of the institutions in the past, they didn't have the minimum requirements for living life. So housing, food, some finances, so I take them to get their medical coverage. I take them to get their general assistance, usually starting them out like that unless they're employed, and just get them the basic needs. So develop the rapport with the client, get them connected into the services, so that way they have some type of stabilization right from the beginning.
I laugh sometimes because he reminds me of a parent giving a kid the evil eye when they're misbehaving. But he has really good relationships with the people on the program and exceptional relationships with the deputies that he's working with.
It's just a huge asset. It's you know, the thought and POs are very entitled, and it's hard to give up our power and have other people kind of do the things that we do. But once you start working with them and the help, you know, sometimes I walk away thinking they're doing more than I'm doing.
We're counselors unchained from the desk.
Neil Miller, he's assigned to the 678 program.
We're actually out in the field, in the trenches, so to speak. We literally, figuratively, geographically, and spiritually meet our clients where they're at and help them to circumnavigate the services available to them in this county in order to be successful in whatever it is they're trying to achieve, whether it be substance abuse, whether it's housing, employment, medical issues, psychological issues.
Neil is very mellow, and when you're in his presence, you just feel that concern that he has, that he wants to help and be of service. And he is also a great collaborator. He's always asking the deputies overall in the division, how can I help you? What do you need?
It's a process of growth, and it's amazing to watch the clients grow. When you first meet them, there is obviously a slight sense of distrust, and as connections are made in stabilizing a client and the client coming to realize that there is no hidden agenda in what it is that we're trying to accomplish. It is basically for the client and for the client's benefit. It builds that therapeutic relationship and that trust is based on my predictable behavior in interacting with that client.
When we get the people from state prison, we do drug and alcohol assessments on all of them. The people who are sentenced to state prison and housed in the jail and on mandatory supervision, we also get an assessment on them. And if they do have a drug and alcohol issue, then we assign them to the coach.
Our clients have our cell numbers, and they are encouraged to call us at any time. We don't keep regular business hours.
I've been on parole and probation since 1988. 5 terms and about 15 violations. Substance abuse, my lifestyle, choices I make in my lifestyle, the unhealthy ones, and just a lot of wreckage.
A recovery coach is sort of like a AA or NA sponsor, except the confidentiality is not there as much because they're our employees and the clients as well as the coaches realize that we're all working toward the same goal.
About a couple weeks before I paroled, the sober coach, Jim Ricci, came and seen me. Like, look, we know what you need to do. You need to do it, you know? From housing, GA, had everything set up for me. When I got out in that lobby waiting for me, it was Jim Ricci, my sober coach, and my probation officer. My probation officer handed me a care package of blankets, pillows, hygiene, and a bus pass, and a handshake. It wasn't automatically negative. It was automatically positive from the very first second. And I mean, when the door opened, that's who I seen. Jim Ricci took me to lunch, took me to the halfway house where I was checked into, and had a talk to me during lunch, a talk. He didn't tell me nothing, he asked me, you know, and let's make a plan together. Let's work this out together. What can we do? What can you do? This time it was, yeah, they care. When I got the job where I'm at, he called me up and says, hey, look, you were a cook in prison, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, you need to come down here, meet me, and sell these people on getting a job here, being a cook. There's a whole different vibe. Hi, how you doing? These are people, you know, and they look at me as just a person too. You know, not my rap sheet, not my record. My probation officer, he texts me and like, hey, how you doing? Not, hey, where are you? No, it's like, hey, how you doing?
I love my job. I'm out in the field. I meet new people all the time. If I don't know about a certain service, I will go out and I will find that service and I will make those connections and I will share that information with my fellow recovery coaches and my colleagues in order to provide for the clients, because it's about the clients. It's not about us or who's got more business cards in their pocket. It's about what we can do to help the people that we serve.
My probation officer stopped and sat me down and talked to me and told me that he had services that could help me get my life back on track. He'd help me get employment. He'd help me get housing. And like, I've been there so much, man, I ain't never believed nothing like that. Everything he said was true. I've been working with Jim Ricci, man. He's there for me 24/7. I had a barbecue where I was helping the children where I work at, and I was thinking about drinking, and I called Jim Ricci and told him how I was feeling, and he told me, come on, you know what to do. I didn't pick up a drink.
As we talk to the guys and the few women that we've had, they all really appreciate the recovery coach. Because it's a little different when the DPO is coming to your door, because they can arrest you, they can write petitions and these things, but the recovery coach is just there for you.
He made me feel comfortable. I was able to speak freely with him, and I realized then that he wasn't just someone that was reporting to probation, that I could be honest with him and what I was going through.
I let them know that I am their coach, care manager, and that I often share my history with them so that they know that I come from the same type of cloth that they're cut. And then when I start talking about the different services that are out there and what is it they need, what do they feel they need to be successful.
If this program was not in place, I think the department would need at least 3 more deputy probation officers assigned to supervise these folks.
This is an amazing program. It is staffed by amazing people.
The program here in Marin has been very successful. We're very happy with what we've done so far. We've gotten some very questionable people that we worried about on day one.
The client does the work. They thank us for the part that we've played in their success, but they've done all the heavy lifting. We just hold the light or show them the door to walk through.
He gave me all the resources I needed to help myself. I'm working now, I have medical coverage, and I have a future. Making decisions that's positive, not negative. Not getting mad at society because of what you did. Stepping up, being a man, and taking care of yourself and being there for your family.
Today, seeing these guys make it and having the resources out there, it's just amazing.
I really, really appreciate every opportunity that they've given me. And every day that I go to work, man, it's a good feeling, man. You know what I mean? That I ain't some, you know, some dirtbag no more. That, you know, it's pretty cool, man. I like that.